What up? What up? What up? Let's talk about a topic that most you guys really don't talk about a lot. Most you guys probably even use on your devices, which is the effects routing on the MPC. A lot of you guys complain about your kicks not knocking hard enough, or the sound's not sounding, big enough, or they don't sound like the way you want them. Well, you can put up to 4 effects on each plugin. So I don't understand why you wouldn't use that before you go into the computer, before you track out, to have a superior sound. Make it sound the way you want to sound before you track it out. Now, for those of you guys who are not tracking out, that's a whole nother conversation. I can't really even speak on that. Like, to me, it is what it is. You probably just using this device to make beats on it and to keep the beats on the actual device. That's cool, but even in that arena, I still feel like you would even cling to it more, because there's not going to be anything outside of your device that's going to help you take that sound to the next level, and that's going to differentiate yourself from the next person who's using that same device. So I don't understand why you wouldn't use the effects on any of the MPCs, because they all have the same software, and they all come with the same plugins. They all come with the same effects plugins. So I don't understand why you would be lacking anything while using the MPC on a level of, I'm not speaking of trying to compare it to one of the old MPCs. I'm speaking of trying to get it to a level to where if you do track it out with analog gear, it's at a good enough level to where it makes sense and it sounds good enough, to the point to where when you do track it in the computer, you don't have to do a lot to it. There's not a lot to do to it. There's just track it in, probably EQ tone it or whatever. I might have some special sauce for this thing or this thing to make it like even better in the computer, but not a lot of plugins. Maybe 1 or 2 plugins. That's it. No compression, none of that. Just volume level, panning it, and tone. That's it. Or maybe a little bit of secret sauce on snares, as far as like a saturation plugin or something like that. Maybe something small, not anything big, not anything major. Just a couple of secret sauces here and there. No more than 2 to 3 plugins on each channel, and then during your delay and your reverb on a separate aux channel, and then blending that into the mix through the aux, through just side chaining it, sending it back in, and not having it directly on the actual channels. But that's all you would be doing in a mix, because most of the stuff that I even track in, even pianos, I even use the reverb effects on it. I even track it in with the reverb on it. Like, if the reverb sounds good on it and it sounds superior on the 61, I track it in like that. I already know it's gonna sound good going in the computer, like from the 61, how I put the effects on each thing. So when I get it into Logic, I'm just worried about tone. I'm just worried about the equalizer. I'm just worried about EQing it at that point. So a lot of y'all don't go into that or dive into that kind of sector of the actual MPCs. Y'all don't use the effects. I think that's what separates the new MPCs from the old MPCs, is the effects, is tailoring it to the point to where you can create your own tone, your own sound of what you like, and you can create it and make it great. Some people can take plugins and take effects and take a sound and make it just glorious and great. Some people, they might not know how to do that as much, but it's a So it's a skill you learn after you use the actual effects over and over again, and you've learned from the just trial and error of using the effects, and you can learn how to adjust it based on what instrument you're using, I would say if it's that, like if it's like, just say a kick, what different kick you're using, how you kind of move stuff around to manipulate this style of kick, how you move stuff around to manipulate this style of kick, and what you would do differently on these different kicks, you know what I'm saying, based on what they present and based on how they sound. I think a lot of you guys haven't dived into that at all. If you're out there and you can't get your kicks to sound the way you want them to sound, or your snares to sound the way you want them to sound, the air transient is probably the best thing they put in these devices. That was like, it's like the holy grail of knock and thump control. It eliminates the purpose for even a compressor. Like, I don't even need a compressor if I got a transient designer. If I can design the transients, if I can boost certain moments of it or decrease certain moments of it, or bring up certain decaying transients, or the end transients of the actual kick or snare, then there's no reason for me to use a compressor and try to fight to delete something to try to bring that up, or to increase something to try to bring this one down, but still trying to have, like, if I can adjust both sides of the transients independently and I can control it, I don't need compressors at all. At all. That transient designer is going to do its job, and it's going to get it to this next level. And that's just one of the effects that I've found to be very useful in pre-tracking and tracking out into Logic. Now, like I say, some of y'all might not be tracking in, y'all just in the MPC. You still can use the effects. And if you're not using the air transient, then I don't know if you even dive in. I'm pretty sure most of y'all are using the air. I pray that most of y'all are using the air transient. Y'all let me know down below if y'all using the air transient. I pray y'all using the air transient. Because if y'all ain't, then I don't know if y'all even dived into the effects menu at all. I found a bunch of other effects on there that was crazy. Like that filter gate, that thing changes the game. As far as melody, changes the game if you know how to adjust it. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know how to adjust it the right way and try to have your secret taste, it might not be for you. But I just know the effects in the MPCs makes it yours and turns it into a monster if you know what you're doing, if you know how to, as they say, tune it. If you know how to tweak it and tune it, you'll dominate a lot of people. You'll dominate a lot of people. So look into that. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Let me know if y'all using the air transient, or if y'all are just using some EQs and y'all use some compressors and y'all haven't used any of the other effects, or y'all just sample. So y'all just have y'all beats and y'all just use the sample, y'all just use the kicks and the snares, and y'all don't even use no effects at all. Y'all might EQ from that here and there, and y'all ain't really got into that. Y'all let me know what effects y'all use too, if y'all found other effects that make stuff greater, and tell me about it. Appreciate it. Salute. Let me know what y'all think down below. Peace.